Okay. Hi, Renee. This is Andie and
Hello.
Renee talking about soul purpose. She just gave me the idea. I'm going to do this off the fly, Renee. Okay. Because I study this soul thing. Actually, the name is soul consciousness, right? So the thing is soul purpose, right? It is individualized. It is also generationalized. Okay, it has to do with each generation. We come here in different state of time, right? And we hold on a second. I'm going to turn that down. And we like you came in the time of Leo. Okay,
Hmm.
there's a group purpose there, soul purpose, group soul purpose. The soul is mainly centered in discovering the I amness in Leo. Okay, who am I? What am I? Am I that? And that is a group soul. The It's like, who am I? And when you look at the generation of Leo in these times, it was all about accepting, um, becoming more lenient in accepting others in our lives. Okay, and it's always been very difficult for that group of Leo. Is like integrating the stepchildren. That's the generation of that. Okay, soul purpose, integration of other families into your family.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's the generation. Okay,
Hmm.
after that generation, I'm a Virgo generation. Okay, soul generation. Okay, but my
Hmm.
soul, my soul is a Virgo, so it's sacrifice. Okay, it's like the end in this era of time.
Hmm.
It's really the ending of sacrifice.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
we when people go and talk about, I don't know, I don't listen to any of them anymore. Because they have to consider the era of time we're living in.
Hmm.
It's and each generation has its purpose. It is not generalized. As much as we would like to make it good for everybody, okay, just one size fit all, it does not.
No. No. Yeah. You're right.
So
Yeah.
okay, so we have to address each generation for who they are. You're not going to address a second Saturn return generation the same that's going to address a first Saturn return generation or a third Saturn return generation. Are you?
No.
So what's the sole purpose in that?
Yeah, but
It's
yeah,
what
that would be lumping people together all into one
yeah,
group.
it's like it's also it's just yeah, it waters down the centering of the objective of being a soul.
Hmm.
We are becoming lighter people. There will be a time we will be able to maneuver life through our uh, essences, powerful and unpowered essences. But at this time on this planet, we're a very young planet. uh, and we are just coming to the understanding of generations. I mean,
Hmm.
that's not even something that the majority of people consider. Okay, so that's why a
Hmm.
lot of us can become very unsuccessful in what we wish for because we're wishing something more mature than we are most of the time.
Hmm. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I could see that.
It's kind of it's let's be rational. And we all have different life, different experience, and different ambitions, right?
Hmm.
And we are born. Remember, when we are born, all have a chart. The moment we are born, and everything in that chart is going to happen, like it or not. And it might be that we don't quite understand every part of that chart, which is
Mm-hmm.
something that comes along with the journey.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're looking at soul purpose, okay, it is we come here as a group also during a generation of time, right? There's babies and people coming and leaving in that 20 years. That's going to be the Aquarius generation we're opening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So through that, it's going to be a soul generation. You get what I'm saying? Collaboration, cooperation, learning to get along together. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We come out of a Capricorn generation, but we are a Leo generation and a Virgo generation. We have had to get along with all these new wiring systems that we met along the way, right? So when we talk about soul, we have to accept that we are, as a soul, we are one amongst an enormous group. Okay. And we came here like the generation of the forerunners. Okay. The generation of the forerunners is ending this year. Okay. That is also a souls group.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? See
Yeah.
how many different layers there is in soul. And that's what I want people to start opening their mind to. See, that generation of the forerunner after 2025, no, they don't, the people that are born in that generation, they can't claim that title. Okay. And it is a title. It is something that we came here to engender and present to the planet. So we when you think about a generation of Cancer, the older than us, right? That generation was a silent generation. They were not quite grouped together yet and trying to understand. And women were not allowed to talk anyway. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
We are also in the Cancer solstice of the last year of the age of the forerunner. During that 100 years, the entire groups came here to to bring to life a way of being. Okay, it goes by generation, but in each generation, there's something that we mainly center in creating. In the Leo generation, it was the generation of uh, mixed families. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
Leo generation was also in the part of women started to be, more noticed and rights were coming in, right? Uh, so it was a big thing, but it also understood that you needed two people in a marriage. You needed two paycheck, right? If you wanted children, was getting expensive in the 50s at Leo generation. And we still were in the mindset that when you get married, it's forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
John is still married, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have ups and downs, but you love him and he loves you, no matter
Mm.
how many pains you are to each other.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't get that first time around. You have to go second,
Yeah.
third. Yeah.
So this is a nurtured relationship that you have, okay? That comes from the
Yeah.
Leo generation. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to find that nurtured relationship less in that many Virgo generation and Libra generation. That is not prevalent. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certain
So
tendencies. Yeah.
soul purpose. okay, goes by generation, as far as like wiring a new understanding that everybody can adapt to for the best of everybody. Okay, it was a lot better when you guys introduced, when that generation introduced, well, it's okay to get remarried and love someone else's children. Okay, but jealousy and all kinds of things, started to meander into relationships from the outer world that way. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The other spouse comes in and interrupts the unity, right? There's no understanding, same sanity, rational, understandable love, that is shared, because they're too selfish, right? Because Leo is about me, 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 and we are just, and it's not a bad thing about being the me generation, like, because it's the who am I? It's not just about asking themselves. It's all about me. Is that they have to learn to ask themselves, who am I, to find the me in them. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that beautiful generation introduced, really, we were midway, a little bit less than midway into the forerunners. They are the generation that started to go and look at astrology a little bit more openly. Uh,
Mhm.
they were the generation that started to ask groups, right? Um, because they understood that the me, for the me to exist, it had to be viewed,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and
Mhm.
also approved of.
Mhm.
So that's where the Joneses come in.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we look at soul purpose, that's your generation's soul purpose. Okay, and overcoming the Joneses and finding you, being you in your life authentically, you know, is the best thing you could ever do for your soul. Because then the soul, remember, we are seven parts of the body, the seven integration in there, right? And we have that trinity. We have the At this time, we have the sacral center that is like emoting completion. They get the emotion, they get atrocities, and they get joy. You know what I mean? That is a
Mhm.
physical, this the physical body that we are, but it is internal, right? Another thing is, we have to take in consideration our physicality. The outer world, the air is all, and the water, all that is changing. Okay. So we are becoming less dense at the same times, because we activated the purpose of knowing how to be of soul energy. We know we are not just a body, and we know that that body, we have to honor it, and we know that the emotional states that we carried all our lives, we are finally at a time where that boundaries is leaped over to install it in mentalities, a mentality of the humanity. So this is a new time for real, but in is because in the dismantling of the leftover of the age of Pisces, because we take what we learned from that age of soul, because
Mhm.
that's where we find ourselves, Renee. Okay,
Okay.
so soul energy, we're talking about the body, the spirit, and the mentality, right? That is all in the physical body. It's like the bottom part of ourselves, the sacral center. The sacral center is the emotional aspect of the soul that we are connecting to at this time, because we are evolved. We think more than just, I'm just that. We know
Mhm.
there's more to us than that. And then we're going to jump to the third center, okay? This the solar plexus. All right.
Mhm.
So that solar plexus is what we are stirring in the waters of ourselves. Every day when we take our first awareness thought in the world of the living, we are experiencing a change of air in our pineal and pituitary gland. We know that, but we don't think about that all the time. Okay, but we know
Mhm.
that that's a process. We know that that first thought, if we bring it to a joyful experience instead of, oh, I got to do this again, and scare yourself to death for doing it, it's not going to be as spontaneous, as beautiful, as kind, right?
Mhm.
So this is a moment that the soul is just beginning to enter the population. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's too many, and that is what being awakened is. Oh, by the way, are you more awake?
Yeah, it's a little more today. I'm
Yes,
coming out of the fog, yeah.
I told you it takes a couple of days when you notice that, oh my God, but that's the moment that we have to say, okay, I just got to get that rest because your brain is processing. Okay.
Mhm.
It takes too much energy to do it in the physical awakened form because you would be all mixed up. So when you process, when you sleep at this moment, especially the last year of the forerunner, the solstice, the full moon we just been in, we
Mhm.
put a lot in that full moon, right? We and then we having another Cancer moon at the end of the month. Okay, so there's an energy of conduct because Cancer is putting into form. Okay, so there's an energy of conduct that's coming in, and that is just a touch of the soul entering into your physical form. Okay, and for the next week, I would say by you're going to find yourself a little bit more in charge of what to decide to do with your days. Like you're going to have a good time living those days after that moment of sleeping. I, you wait and see.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Wait and see. And I want you to tell me it's not a huge la la, it's like a very subtle vitality that is just good to keep the course going. You get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
solid, but it's solid in the way that you know that the magnet is pulling you forward in the better part of yourself. Okay.
Mhm.
We have to, so the soul purpose. What is your soul purpose, Renee?
What am I? Um, I'm an Aries. Yeah, I'm getting confused because I'm an Aries sun, and yet I got a Scorpio ascendant, and I'm just
We're not
confused
looking at
about
a
that.
chart. We're talking about the soul that you are. Who are you? So you are, that amazing Aries, that fire. That's where everything starts.
Yeah, that's right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So Aries is the beginning of the zodiacal year,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, right.
It's will, it's power, it's the desire to accomplish something. But we
Mm-hmm.
get so excited sometimes to
Mm-hmm.
start something. We start a lot of things and we don't finish them.
That's me. I'm good for that.
Okay.
Yes, I
So,
try.
what I've learned, because see, you're my opposite,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not know how to start things sometimes. I still don't know. I'm not good at it, but I start. But I give myself. I learned to not do too many things, and that has been a very difficult lesson. But I take 3 projects because I know I need to be simulated. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that the wheel does, the fire does, it needs air to move through it to keep it, flaming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's your fire and I'm air, right? So I have to go to the fire of things, burning grounds. And I put things together, three things together. I was just talking to uh, a young man here yesterday about Aries and saying, you put too many things on your plate.
Yeah.
You take three things and enjoy them, learn from them, practice them. It's like it's just like been mesmerizing. I've been practicing the daily angel, right? With the,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing the quality of soul connection that I do get, my soul. Like I know I'm in the right mode. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then I get to work with something I like, and then I get to read about astrology after that. If I want to, I go for a walk. But I do, and we have the luxury to do that, Renee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how lucky are we?
Yeah,
Plus, we have wisdom.
that's right, because
We
we
have
are already
we have an
seen a
enormous,
lot in our lives. Yeah.
and we have, yeah, and we have, well, we've reached a certain amount of common sense. We hope, okay.
Yeah, it's right. It's true.
And when you think about that Aries and Libra like that,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
counterpart, you have to that soul energy, the will that, see, you're the one who creates things, right? You spark
Mm-hmm.
the thing up.
Mm-hmm.
And we like to spark up because we think that spark, if I spark up again, well, we get lost in doing something else instead of getting excited again for the next step of the project that we have, because it's got to
Yeah,
tie in.
you're right. Yeah.
And
You
it
don't
gets,
you don't
you
give
know,
yourself enough time to finish one thing without starting
yeah,
another
and
one. Yeah.
that's how knowledge install itself, because it's got a
Mm-hmm.
cadence to it.
Mm-hmm.
So and then over three projects, I get overwhelmed. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I could sell 4, 5, 6 houses together. Okay. But now I would say not so fast. I want to
Yeah.
be able to, uh, enjoy the quality of it and everything that goes with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Aries and Libras. Okay. Because Libra, if a Libra puts too many things up there, she becomes wishy-washy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if we have three projects in front of us, it's solid. We go, and when we finish one, we can start another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's how we build a resume of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
and it's
True.
it's not, that's the soul of things.
Yeah. Let things come to completion before you do another. Yeah.
What do I say? Use the Trinity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three. Everything's the threes. Yeah.
Everything is in threes. I use three for everything. There's three steps to everything. You decide to go to open to walk to open the door, go out of your apartment, right? That's the decision. And then you walk, and then you get out of your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You walk out the door, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's three steps. There's three steps to everything. If you put more steps than that, you're going to get lost.
Yeah. It's true. It gets more confusing. It's true.
So that's what I've learned. And that's the soul. For me, that's center, and that is soulful. Okay. You're thinking of you. We have come to an age where we have to use the wisdom we've acquired and we can pace ourselves. We got eternity,
Yeah. That's
right?
right. Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it's true.
So, soul, you have to ask yourself, especially now, if we look at the charts, like we're going to share screen. If we look at today's chart, this is, a good subject when we talk about the soul. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
We have to think forerunner, generational, right? That generational soul group that we belong to,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're more molded for that. When you say,
Yeah.
yeah, why would I say cancel? I don't want to cancel.
Alright,
So
keep
we're
going.
going to go to the chart today,
Mm-hmm.
and just play with the energy. See how the first ray energy, the sacred planet
Yeah, and
Mars. Mars is
internally
not
is
a sacred. Mars is not a sacred planet. Pluto is not a sacred planet. Because they're warriors. They're destroyers.
yeah.
That's their job. Um, the second ray is really, really, really out there, and creative intelligence is out there. So,
Mm-hmm.
second and third ray.
Yeah.
So, the first ray is internally does not like it doesn't have a grip on rage right now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's being molded by creative intelligence and the love and wisdom that the planet Earth is. We're changing an age. We're ending a generation of Capricorn, which is Capricorn is like the accomplishments, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of an age, imagine how full, if we knew the soul that we are exactly, like, because that's what we're searching for. It's our inner compass, right? What are you that you will never compromise?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yep.
so, and that is what we've been uh, plunging in for the entire uh, century. We have exposed the spiritual side of ourselves without religions. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we have all come to the common sense of what the common sense is. It's all the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
it's
Yeah.
it's different players, and we have to honor what we don't know and the unseen. There's a lot in the unseen. So when we look at, you see this chart?
Yes.
Okay, who is here? Saturn and the moon right now
In
is
Pisces.
in Pisces in the sixth house. This
Mm-hmm.
is, and Virgo is in the 12th house at this moment. It's going to
Yeah.
be moving every 2 hours, right? These
Right.
houses are going to change. This going to become this going to become, you know what I mean? Every 2 hours
Every
today.
2 hours. Okay, 2 hours.
Okay, that's how you can calculate your ascendant. Okay, this ascendant change every 2 hours. All right. So when we are looking at today's energy, we are this finality with ray 6. Remember, we are the ray that is exiting the planet, the energy that's going to have a choice, what you want to do in the interlude of your lives, your eternity. Okay, so and in the fourth ray, harmonizing conflict, unity through union, to groups working together. That's what's coming in. We're leaving, and I don't see it as a bad thing or a good thing, but we are. That's the truth of things. These ray
Mm-hmm.
energy are changing, and what are these rays energy? They are the essence of the soul of that group of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like your service are being required somewhere else. You return at some point 2,000 years later or whatever. there is a time factor on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in a moment of transition that people haven't really quite grasped yet.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to confuse people. I just want to give it like a linear way to look at it. Okay. There's the forerunner group. Okay. And then we became aware of our astrology as a general thing, right? And then we finally become aware of the position of those planets, what they
Mm-hmm.
affect, and then we realize, oh yeah, it does, it does. That is showing me that it does feel that way. So we learn repetition of the feeling of the emotional state, right? Through your astrology, each house has a different emotional state, lasting or not lasting. And that is what we're learning to integrate and sensitize within ourselves so we can trust our feelings better. Learning to not react and observe yourself in the moment is the secret of life. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm boring you right now, but
No, if you don't go with, what's happening at the moment, you don't pay attention to it. It's you got to be aware. If you're not
yeah.
aware,
Remember,
yeah,
the present moment is called the eternal now.
the eternal now. Yeah, if you're not in the eternal now, you're out someplace else.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And the
do.
eternal now, if you don't manage it, you end up in the past or in the future.
Right. You're not where you should be. Yeah.
You should be in the eternal now,
Yes.
using the trinity of knowledge of energy now. And when you need to recollect, you have access. And when you need to project, you have access.
Yeah.
So again, you see the trinity there.
Yes.
So that is, that was pretty, yeah, I'm going to write that one down.
Yeah, that's an important one.
That was a good way to say it, you know.
Yeah.
And you can only get to those space of mind when you have nurtured what you've decided to love well. Okay.
Yeah.
No more than 3 projects at a time. You want to try that for a while?
Yeah, I'm gonna try that because I'm all over the place.
It's going
I've
to keep
just so
you.
many. I don't want to miss anything. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
but you're not going to miss anything. I promise you, you will never miss anything, because the what is the purpose of life is to find our souls in the right place at the
Yeah.
right time at the right moment. There's a lot of things that we're not supposed to be part of. We have eternity. Okay, we come here to try out something that we had to take care of and learn from. And we have, and now we can enjoy the moment.
Yeah. That's the truth too. Yeah.
We have a time span on the planet to learn something more tangible for yourself, knowing you. What do you like? You know, what does make John, what makes John smile? Okay, you guys been together for so long, you deserve it, have these moments. But if you pack your life with things that are not really meaningful,
Hmm.
knowing everything, know what you want to know right now. What's going to help you? What's going to make you happy? You've
Yeah.
got a lot of wisdom into you. You've known a lot of things. You've done a lot of wonderful things. You got memories to think back over, and that's what's important. What what is aligning for that is better for you? The world is changing, and you're changing with it. But that doesn't mean that you have to give up your values.
Yeah, it's true. Hang on to your values. Yeah.
Yeah, a value is something that you don't have. You will fight for it, okay, but you don't have that internal battle within you that you have, that you're fighting about. You fight for it, but inside of you, you know that's what you have to do.
Yeah, it's true.
You, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that's just my opinion.
No, it's a good opinion, though. It's very true.
So when we look at Saturn, remember Saturn is going to be moving into Aries in under 5 degrees. When when Saturn enters a sign, it's there for 2.5 years. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you can plan when Saturn moves into Aries at the end of the year. Okay, or
Mm-hmm.
beginning of 20. What do we do with that? Because we know Mars is also going to be there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and what we do with it, we want to use them as life coaches, soul coaches. Okay,
Yeah. Right.
so there's there's a lot of things happening. Remember, this is the summer that
Yeah.
scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But but it is a summer
Mm-hmm.
of the most amazing events for our population at the time we're living in, that we must pay attention.
Yeah. It's true.
It's a big summer.
Yeah, it is.
So, but what's more important is the soul that you are and the soul that I am, because in each individualization of ourselves, right,
Mm-hmm.
there is something that is there that knows that life continues. We continue moving forward always with the best intention. That's the best thing we can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when it feels yucky, it's because it's wrong.
Right. If it doesn't feel right, then it's telling you.
Yeah, I used to say that's one my, if it doesn't feel right, it's not light.
Right. You're right. That's true. It's very true.
Okay. When it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel right, it's not light. Sometimes you might see half a shadow, but just don't go there. We have earned the knowledge and the wisdom to
Mm-hmm.
not resist. And we are cardinal signs. So when you think about a cardinal sign, always two step forward and one backwards. We go and check out
Yeah.
the layout.
Yeah. I feel like one step backward. You say, why am I going backward again? I don't understand why.
Because we go check out the layout and then we come back to equip ourselves.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. We need to do something. Yeah. Pull
It's
together. Yeah.
strategic.
Strategy, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can see the trinity in that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a strategy that is an innate in us. It's just, and once you learn to manage that, life becomes like full and complete. And then you have the time to say, okay, I can add on another thing because I just completed that thing and that was a lot of fun to do. Da 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 da. Right.
Yeah.
So you're having a menu, that's piling up of things that are accomplished instead of things that I just dabbed in.
Yeah. You're right. You got to do something complete. Yeah.
It's really
Makes
a
more
lot,
sense. Otherwise, you're all over the place. Yeah. I know that well.
and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm trying to do so many things because I want to get it all.
We can only get so much in one. Remember, we go through 3 Saturn returns max in one life.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that means that you can go 6 times around the wheel in one life with Saturn, right?
Yeah.
And Saturn is what? Moderation, putting the brakes on, stay there long enough to learn something.
Hmm. Yeah. That's right. Stay there long enough to learn something. Right. Don't
you
jump
know,
the gun. Yeah. Right.
yeah, those are all the little treasures that we pick up with time,
Hmm.
right? That
Yeah.
we get to. ponder on our lives and we look back and we ask ourselves, maybe I should have stayed there a little bit longer, it would have succeeded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
would have
now
completed
something shiny
something.
just came in and I want that.
Well, it's sometimes you're doing something and it gets very frustrating and you want to leave it and come back to it
You
because
that's it. You can leave and you can go dabble in something, go window shopping. Okay. But complete.
complete something first. Yeah.
Yeah. You only have 3 Saturn returns in a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So when we think about how we did the first and how we did the second, and we're on our way to our third,
Yeah, all right.
let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's do it where you have actually a sense of density on certain things that you have accomplished to learn something from.
It's a good feeling when you accomplish something. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it's a kick in the boot, you know.
Yeah. If you don't get there, you're not going to find that.
And it's magical. It really is. That's why I always insist on myself,
Mhm.
to do 3 things a day, right? But sometimes I can't. My energy is not the same. See, we have
Yeah,
to accomplish things, right? But
right.
like one thing that I know that I'm going to do is that walk every day because uh, I'm the only one that controls that, and then
Your body needs it, and you know that. Yeah.
yes, and and the things, and then I'll study something, but a lot of meditation lately because we are in Cancer. We
Hmm.
just and remember Jupiter is in Gemini. Where's good old Jupiter up to?
Hmm.
And right here, right? He's in
Yeah.
Gemini and in the
Ninth
ninth
house.
house.
Yeah.
Okay, it's high in the sky. Where was it last week? It was down into where we learn. Okay, right now it's high in the sky. Gemini is going. I've got so many things to tell you, and it's in there for a year. Okay,
Hmm.
don't let yourself get peppered by too much. We can only take what we can understand at this moment. Anything else that makes you feel like shaky, iffy,
Yeah.
just let
Yeah.
it go. It's not because it's not resonating it's putting you on tilt.
It's not meant. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
telling you it's not meant.
yeah,
Let it
and
go.
it doesn't mean anything. It's just that we have to center with a cognition of this is what I'm here for right now.
Yeah.
You know,
True. Yeah.
hmm and Jupiter in the ninth house in Gemini is going to be for the next year. Uh, oh, it's going to be too quick, quick, uh, a quickening of things, and
Hmm.
a lot of things are coming out where it's so many things are coming out in so many the same thing opinions that the
Yeah.
confusion is thick. So just remove yourself from that space, okay?
Yeah.
And we have a good old moon here that is in the sixth house that is totally sensitive, and it's also using the illusion, you know that
Mhm.
and remember, the moon is not a full satellite. What I mean by satellite is that the moon does has a certain effect with us on the water level, but the moon really hides Vulcan here, okay,
Yeah.
in the 10th house. And
Mhm.
Vulcan is the mold, is shaping the form, right? And it
Yeah.
is and that's what the moon hides the view of is Vulcan. So we want to really be alert as far as that moment, and you're going to be waking up a little bit faster in the next couple of days. No, it's just like Before
A
you know
good
it,
thing, yeah.
you're gonna feel aligned, okay? Just
Mm-hmm.
by knowing that Vulcan is sporting that moon, okay?
Okay.
So, and we have a
Yeah,
good old
explain what Vulcan does so that people know.
Vulcan is like the forger. It's like who is it? Metatron, okay? Uh, you know the energy of Metatron,
Yeah.
the mold. Well, that's what Vulcan is, okay? But Vulcan has more of an effect uh, in the unseen things, and it
Mhm.
sees where Pluto wants to mold the future. Okay,
Okay.
so right now they are very like Pluto is at 26 Aquarius,
Aquarius, yeah.
28. I don't
28
know.
Aquarius, 28 Aquarius, yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
and
retrograde though?
yeah, it's in retrograde. Okay, and it's going to be going to Capricorn. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
by September, and then Vulcan is at 10-degree Cancer. Okay. So,
Hmm.
in the esoteric consciousness, if we look at Vulcan, I'm going to change subject here. I'm going to change window here. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm going to go to Makara. Oh, God. Hold on a second. We're going to go to Makara. Okay. Wendy,
I didn't get the.
those fingers of mine.
I'm having trouble today. Okay. It's supposed to be
Well,
very humid and disgusting today. It's
yes,
very hot
it's
and
very sicky.
yeah, it's supposed to be a real
It's
doozy.
the kind of
Tomorrow's
weather
gonna
that
get
makes
cooler.
it is the kind of
Yeah.
weather that makes me weep.
Don't go out walking around out there today. It's too horrible.
Oh, I don't. Well, no, it's going to be at the end of the day. Uh, I walk the corridors of. We're looking for Vulcan. Okay, Vulcan. Okay,
Mm, yeah. Yeah, look
it's
at that. Look at lightning. Yeah, we're getting that today too. Yeah.
yes. Okay, this is what's
Hmm.
happening right now in the world. Lot of lightning and water moving the ground around. Okay,
Hmm.
Vulcan. So this is. Do you see this?
Yes. Vulcan
Okay,
veiled by
Vulcan
moon.
is
Yeah.
veiled by moon for the average man. Okay, a person that is not in consciousness, that does not pay attention to the energy of the world. Do
Hmm.
not really understand the effects of these moons. And Vulcan is an esoteric moon that has been talked about for a long time.
Mm.
And the moon is a dead form. Okay, it's a dead satellite. It's there, but it has, no emanation. Behind the moon, Vulcan is, okay, and Uranus. And that is why the moon is spoken of in the ancient teaching as veiling either Vulcan or Uranus.
And you said the moon and Vulcan this time around.
Hmm.
Yeah, the
So
moon
this
is hiding Vulcan right now.
and
From the chart
see,
you were just saying
yes,
today. Yeah.
this hint or inference has always been an astrologer would do well to experiment with this suggestion. I have
Hmm.
made an the moon, and instead of working with the moon, let them work with Vulcan when dealing with the undeveloped or average men, and with Uranus when considering somebody that is more spiritual or more developed. Okay, they would find it interesting, and convincing results would eventuate of their effort. What
Hmm.
you get what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
if we can play with these energy, If you really love energy understanding, you want to learn these, you spend an hour a week reading something like this and participating with those little point of knowledge, okay,
Yeah.
for a few days with it, just like I did with the angels of the day. Okay, I do with the angels of the day. You wouldn't believe the things that comes in. Okay, so like on Sunday or the day before yesterday,
Yeah. Yeah.
Sunday,
Well, yeah.
I was doing the angels of the day work that I do, and the wonderful thing came in was for me to invoke good timing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the thought that came in was like invoke good timing. That's something that you can ask for. You can lay that in the energy of your week. Good timing. You'd like to experience that this week, and you can call it in and then see if it comes in, and then make a note of that of your life. Do you know that that's something that works for you? Might not work for somebody else, but for me, I put in a request, good timing, and new clients, you know. And remember, I put in I told you about that. Asking, I was asking Saint Anthony for new clients, right? And when I got my glasses,
Yeah.
I got two new clients.
Yeah. Brought things clearer to you. It's funny.
So you get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
you invoke and you receive. If
Right.
you are in the acceptance, knowing and trusting yourself that you can bring it to you. Remember, we bring things to
You gotta trust
ourselves.
yourself. You gotta trust yourself enough to do it. Yeah.
So when we look at Vulcan, it says transmitting one aspect of dynamic energy, and it creates an electrical fire that lights up the path to your initiation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Aries and Libras, my dear friend,
Here we are. Yep.
we are part of the great bear energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The cardinal cross, the second creative hierarchy, the 11th unknown. Okay. That is huge. But these are words that points to the soul of our placements on the planet at this time. Okay, remember
Yeah.
now let's keep in mind that incarnation, we don't incarnate the same personality. We incarnate with the addition of something that we've earned in our previous personalities, that is
Okay.
anchored within the tenets of our physical form, no matter what age and time and era we decide to be born. Okay, but we
Mm-hmm.
have access always to the great bear.
Great bear. Yeah.
Okay, so these are things that we get to develop through uh, talking this kind of language that becomes a vibrational resonance that has you uh, like show your deeper desires to yourselves. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
when we look at a Vulcan, Taurus, and Pisces, this is exactly the times we're in right now, Renee. Okay, these effects, Taurus and Pisces related by Ray One. What is Ray One? Aries. It's will and power. By Vulcan is
Mm-hmm.
very. You're very connected with Vulcan. Especially you have so much water in your
Yeah,
energy.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I
So
forgot about that. Yeah.
electrical performance, right? Taurus and Pisces through Vulcan and Pluto are related to Ray 1, transmutation of desire into sacrifice. So, what does that mean? The transmutation of the desire is that you're willing to sacrifice certain things so that you can become the individual that's got the will to create what you just decided.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I
we
remember
understand
that.
that there's an electrical charge there for you. And what is we going through out there? A lot of rain, a lot of thunder, a lot of electricity.
You're right. Yeah.
And this is not coincidence to me. This is like something that we are living as an experience of our lives. It's like every time that, many times, not every time, but many times I find myself doing things. When we started to talk about the soul this morning at the beginning of this call, the resonance of the soul comes out, right?
Mhm.
And knowing where to go find certain content within yourself without reading is only comes through submitting yourself, submitting yourself to learning it. The sacrifice is into the learning of it.
Yeah.
And the gift is the completion of it because now you have it to use always. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So,
reading part of it too. Yeah.
destroying force of Vulcan. We're living the first initiation globally. The burning ground.
Hmm.
If anyone tells me any different, that's okay. You can think what you want. I'm bothering to argue, but
Okay.
we all have initiation, but globally, okay, evolution and initiation is as a group of aware souls. We are living it right now. We're initiating into the next age. Okay. So, initiations, at the first initiation, the disciple has to contend with the crystallizing of destroying force of Vulcan and Pluto. We have to come to a conclusion that, hey, this stuff doesn't work here and that doesn't work there and gets destroyed. In the last decade, we found a crystal cave, right? There is a story that the Indian population, the American Indian population, used to talk about that when a person with transit, okay, that subatomic piece of uh, energy that they are gets lodged in those crystal caves. Okay, so when
Hmm.
they discovered that about a decade ago, I was just like so excited.
I can see why. Yeah. Hmm.
So only, and I would never have known about those caves if I would not study this stuff, because your internal mindset guides you where to find things that excites you about what you are learning of.
Right. Makes sense, and it just popped in your head, right?
Yes, it just comes in and you go, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. This is cool, right?
It becomes a playground in your
Hmm.
excitement of discerning and learning and practicing something that makes, and
Hmm.
it has, and then it becomes like it has form, right? It becomes something that you do regularly and you just make yourself happy and smiling with it.
Hmm. Yeah. It's a happy moment, right?
There's a lot more happy moments like that when you give time to one, two, three instead of everything.
Okay. Yeah.
Cha cha cha.
Right. You gotta remember that at the moment when I get all excited about all these things popping in my head.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it is.
So that is soul energy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It we aligned it completely, if you remember, completely with the whole. We went with the forerunners, the generation of the beings, right? We're all
Mm-hmm.
different generation to this generation,
Mm-hmm.
and we discern from that place instead of general.
You're right. Yes.
And we get along a lot better if we learn to address these people of the generation that they are, because they've already accumulated what we had to work at.
Yeah. Right.
The pleasure of knowing energy is that we know that the people that are doing the work, they've already laid out the the hard part for people, for others to jump on.
You're
The
right. Yeah.
is already, it just needs to be reinforced by the fullness of adding on more knowingly what you're entering in your life with, what you're choosing to be part of.
Yes. Hmm.
Anyway, that's my counseling for today, Renee.
Yeah, that was good. That's good. I'm glad I brought up that subject that we got something good to work with. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, you have an alignment now.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
when people cannot put that together in their presentation, I gotta go. Okay.
Yeah.
So
We gotta
that's
go now. It's already one. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
got here
that's just
fast. You know, you get on a good subject, it goes fast.